I'll bet you the witness in the middle has got a lot to say.
She's very pro-life.
But she can sign up as well.
Yeah, I know. Add her to the list.
Kara, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I want to really commend Rep. McLaughlin for bringing this forward. It's something that is just such common sense. And I think we really have to ask ourselves, what kind of a state do we want to be seen as by the world? A state that would have the clarity and the common sense and the heart to recognize someone as being alive when they have a beating heart? Or do we want to be seen as some place that will defy common sense, defy science and biology in the interest of forwarding this agenda of abortion on demand, to say that someone who has a heartbeat is not alive? I mean, it almost defies belief that it wouldn't be something that we would just embrace so readily and obviously. Yes, honey. Yes, you got to. Okay. She wants to make sure she gets to go next. So, all right, give mommy one more second, okay, honey? So when you see the shows, like doctor shows, ER, this kind of thing, when they've got a trauma, and sorry, and they finally do the shocks on the chest, and they finally get the heart to beat again, and everybody's clapping. I mean, why can we recognize that a beating heart means life in every other stage of life, but we're willing to completely obscure reason to try to make it seem like the baby is not alive? The baby does have a beating heart by 22 days, and some of these abortion methods where they actually inject the heart and then wait for cardiac arrest are so barbaric. I mean, the fact is, these babies are alive, their hearts are beating after 22 days after conception, and this should not be something political. It's just common sense. Thank you.
Thank you. Chris? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mary.
I think that we should all be pro-life, and we should all be the same and be pro-life.
Good job. I can't wait till you get to first grade and tell the teacher that you've testified before the House Judiciary Committee.
She has great things in store for her. So she is, this is the little baby that we were going to have, and we did have. She had a heartbeat inside of her mother's womb, and now she's 6 years old, and the time has gone by fast, hasn't it, guys?
It has.
So our lives are going by fast, and there's a lot of signs all around us of what's coming, right? We're not stupid people. We can see the world around us, Tyler spoke well. He said that a child is created in the image of God, and Abraham Lincoln said the same thing. He said, nothing created in the image of God was meant to be trodden upon, as he spoke about slavery. So too, the baby in the womb has a face and is created in the same image, and that image needs to be protected. The people who support Planned Parenthood don't fully understand the full history of Planned Parenthood. They're not informed about a lot of the medical and scientific issues that are involved. When they address the baby in the womb, they say fetus. Okay, fetus is a Latin term. It means little one, okay? They use the term that justifies the baby as a human being, as a little human, and they think it's a way to dehumanize the baby. But the baby has human DNA. We're intelligent people here, educated people. The baby's made up of the DNA of the mother and the father. The combination of the two creates a human DNA strand. This is a human being with equal human rights to you and I. So my child is a potential taxpayer. She pays taxes when she buys things at the store.
No, I don't.
You get a lot of money out of my pocket, right? Yeah, you got a full piggy bank full of money, right?
I save it.
You save it. What are you saving up for?
An Apple iPad.
An Apple iPad, okay. So she's going to pay taxes on that. So the state, you have to pay taxes. Everybody's got to pay taxes. So the state has an obligation to this child, and also the child has an obligation to the state. She's compelled to pay taxes, okay? So therefore, upon the heartbeat of a child, the humanization of the child becomes an obligation of the state, but the child also has a tax obligation to the state. And that obligation cannot be removed by murdering the child. The state has an interest into that tax. So the baby in the womb has human rights. The baby in the womb has a heartbeat at 22 days. The baby in the womb is a human being. We're not blind people. We see what's happening in the world. We see this child now, who is a baby, now is a younger person, 6-year-old person, eventually will be, able to vote, right? And hopefully for you guys, right? And this baby we see, and we can see this baby clearly. We also can see the signs all around us. We have virtually a plague that's happening worldwide right now. We have a 2,000 point drop in the U.S. Dow Jones, right? We have the signs all around us that we are in an apocalyptic time, okay? The signs are clear. Now, whose obligation is more important, to the speaker or who the speaker reports to, or to the eternal God? Because I tell you as clearly as I'm speaking here today, each of you will be judged by God. And by making a sacrifice here today and allowing this bill through committee, and letting the House and the Senate vote on this bill, which they did on the last prior bill, where they allowed for the murder of the baby up until the moment of birth. And the baby, they can sell the baby's body parts with no criminal penalty. There's no penalties involved. So what does it mean if they say that they can't do it, if there's no penalty involved? Okay? So we are clear here that in other states, the baby is delivered, the baby's alive, and they're selling the baby's body parts from this alive baby that's been delivered, already out of the mother's womb. Where do we begin to realize there's a judgment that we are going to suffer for allowing these babies to be tortured, for allowing these babies to be murdered, denying the humanity of these babies? Now, you are the filter that allows this bill to go through to committee. God will judge you much more harshly. I'm telling you right now, He will judge you much more harshly if you do not let the entire House and the Senate vote. Let them vote and make their positions clear to God. They made them clear in the last bill. This is a democratic republic. We allow for legislation to be heard, to be voted on. I know you've got an order not to allow this through committee. Bypass that order. For God, for your judgment, I am telling you, you will be judged. Each of us will be judged. Allow it through committee. Allow it through committee. And let the House and the Senate vote on it. That's all. They did it they voted on it. They made the positions in the last session. Why was that bill allowed through and this bill not allowed through? Why? Just allow the people who have been elected into public office decide if this baby is a human being with a heartbeat. Common sense says they are human. Common sense says they have human DNA. Common sense says they have a heartbeat. They can hear the heartbeat. We have eyes to see. We have ears to hear. We can hear the heartbeat. We can see the baby in the womb now. Fully formed babies that they kill up until the moment of birth. They harvest their body parts. This is a fact. One of my best friends represents, as an attorney, one of the people who brought this forward under undercover video through Planned Parenthood, them selling body parts. It's made it to the Supreme Court, the case. Clearly, you are in a position now where you have to break the bounds of what put you here. Just vote on the bill. He's not going to even be he's not going to be elected in the next session. He's done. He has no power. Okay? Now it's time to end this, okay? It's the reality. He put it through committee last time.
One minute, Chris. Dr. Kavesi.
I think we should all be the same and stop being bad, and we should all be good and not torture babies.
Wiser words were never spoken. Having said that, Chris, keep the politics out of it with all due respect.
Politics are in it. You think God's not going to judge Mattiello? Are you kidding me? He allowed for babies to be murdered.
Chris, I do not want to get into a debate with you.
Let it go on the floor.
I do not want to get into a debate with you respectfully.
He promised
Yeah,
me,
listen,
before he got the
excuse
speakership
me,
in
excuse
committee,
me,
he promised me
excuse
he
me, I
wouldn't
have
push
the
through bills
floor.
like this.
I have the floor.
Right.
Continue if you wish regarding the merits of the bill. Leave the politics out of it because it colors it in a way you do not want. It is not appropriate. It is not appropriate. It is not appropriate. Discuss the merits of the bill.
Then you put it through committee. Otherwise, I've been told it's been silenced. The bill's been silenced. You tell me I don't know the truth.
Then you
tell me I don't know the truth.
With all due respect, then you must know something the rest of this committee doesn't, because it was taken under advisement. It will be taken under advisement, and we have a long session to go. Please.
You take this under advisement, okay? You are going to face God. You have the power now. You could sacrifice your career. That's true. Why not? The world's not going to be around much longer. You see the signs everywhere. So at what point, these people, what matters is your eternal soul. That's what really matters. Beyond this whole thing here, okay? This is supposed to be a democratic process, a government built on a republic based on law, okay? That doesn't seem to happen when it comes to protecting the life of a child where you can see it's a child. You can see it's a child. There's no, you can lie to yourself and say that that's not a baby with arms and legs and a head and eyes, but it is. You can lie to yourself and be deluded by the propaganda from Planned Parenthood, which was started by a racist, Margaret Sanger, with the intention of eliminating the poor and people of color. We are educated people here. We know how Planned Parenthood was started. We know that Margaret Sanger was, Adolf Hitler modeled his concentration camps after the forced labor farms Margaret Sanger set up. We are educated people.
Chris, please don't make me raise my voice.
Vote it
okay?
through committee.
I've known you for a long time, and I've listened to you for even longer. Would you agree?
We're friends.
Would you
We are
agree?
friends.
We are friends.
We are friends.
So
vote it through
would you
through
keep the
committee.
politics of what
Look,
happened
whatever.
with the...
I was friends with him. I was friends with Mattiello. He promised me before he got elected speaker that he would not do this, and he did it. He did it. They don't matter. What matters is God. In the end, what matters is God, and everything is clear here. Everything is clear. Your decision determines your fate. Okay? And it's no joke, and it's nothing to profit from, because the most profitable thing you'll ever get is your soul. Okay? None of this other stuff matters except for your soul. Okay? And the souls of the babies that you'll be saving, and the people who are being tricked into killing their own children. You have the power here to break away from the norm, to break away from the power structure. How long are you going to do this stuff for anyways? I mean, it's time to fight against evil. It's time to do what you were put here to do. There are things that you want to get through. I understand that. Bills you want to get passed. I understand that. But ultimately, what matters is that your soul is on the line. It's no clearer than that. The signs are clear everywhere. We have a plague in the whole world. It's affecting the whole world. Italy, everywhere. You think it's a joke? You think it's not real? You're covering your eyes from it? This is a reality. Hell is a reality. Gehenna. Jesus spoke of Gehenna. You think it's a joke. You're not stupid people. There's no joke here anymore. Now it's time to make a decision that risks your future. Now it's time. God will judge it. He'll say, I reward you well in heaven. You have a mansion in heaven for fighting for a baby who has no one to speak for them. Okay, ultimately that's it. I can't speak perfectly to turn your heart to do the right thing. You have to make the decision to do the right thing at your own sacrifice. But Jesus sacrificed on the cross. He suffered, he died, and he rose again, and he ascended into heaven. You too can do the same thing beyond them who are possessed by this demonic force that allows for the murder of children. They sell their body parts. Whose side do you want to be on in the end? The time is now. There's no other time. The signs are clear. People are dying from plague, right? Are we not clear about that? So now is the time to risk your future, to risk your life, to take a position of a leadership role. You were put here by God. You were put here by God. You were put in these seats by God. This is the time to make the right choice, to save the baby in the womb, to save the human being in the womb. No doubt, no denying, a baby made of human DNA. a baby, a human being. It's up to you. It's up to you. I would do it. I would risk my future. I've done it time and time again, right? You can do it. You've done it. I've seen you do it. At trial, at every bill you've put through. Now's the time to encourage each other to do the right thing, to allow the House and the Senate to vote on it. They will do what they will do. And everyone in this state is seeing this. Whoever watches this show, they know the truth as well. This baby's a human. Let the people vote if it has a heartbeat at 22 days and if it's human. Just allow it to go through committee.
Thank you, Chris.
I think you were a baby and you grew up to do this. I think you should choose the right choice, and that is choose to make a proportion people be pro-life.
Thank you very much. She's cute.